Payback is, for me, it's a culmination of a number of books. It brings together, probably one way or another, the last 5 books that I've written. Its main protagonist is Dennis Mill, who's a character I always really enjoyed writing. He featured in 2 of my earlier books, and I haven't written him for 6 years now, and the reason for that was I found it very difficult to sort of find a plot that worked for him. I started writing a couple of books, it didn't quite work, but then I had this idea of bringing him back and him actually meeting Tina Boyd, who's another very central protagonist for me, and a character who's developed hugely over the last 4 books. She's featured almost since the very beginning of my books, like Dennis, but for a long time she was very much a bit part player, and then she seemed to almost, to use a bit of a writer's cliche, develop a life of her own in later books, and she's become a really important character for me, and her whole sort of motivation these days is to try to bring down the man who's been her nemesis for years now, Paul Wise. And Dennis, inadvertently, in his last book, A Good Day to Die, had a very indirect link to Paul Wise. So I really wanted to write a book which featured all 3 of these characters and actually had them coming together in a final confrontation. It's also, for me, very interesting to bring Dennis back with this from a 6-year absence and to sort of fill in what he's been doing in those 6 years. And he's become, I think, in a way, a colder character. He has killed again since. He's been acting as a hitman, working for a rather unpleasant and shady character called Bertie Shagel, who's based out of Southeast Asia. And so he's killed a number of people, and he still likes to think that he's putting the bad guys in the ground, but I think he might even realise he's kidding himself. So when he comes back, he's in Manila, carrying out a hit that has a very has quite a serious link to Tina's own investigations into Paul Wise, and Tina ends up going to Manila thinking she can get the evidence that will finally put Paul Wise in the dock. And when she arrives there, it's actually Dennis that finds he's got a contract out to kill her. He gets a new contract to put her in the ground very quickly. And I really sort of enjoyed trying to work out what he would do and what she would do, and whether they would actually join forces or whether he'd actually try and kill her. And so that's effectively the sort of driving force of the book. And these 3 characters do, I can promise you, come together in a very major confrontation. But we're never sure, or certainly for quite a long way through, who's going to be on whose side. But I can promise the readers that pretty much a conclusion is reached, and it ties up everything, and it's the end of the line for at least 2 of the characters, but I'm not going to tell you which 2 they are.